celebration of independent Africa, as all of us were going through the post-colonial hoo-ha, and we were all happy and we were celebrating our independence. We had hopeful ambitions. We were seeing a bright future. How did we end up here? That's what Blood is about. And it's about identifying, the speech in the middle of Blood was taken by my dad. It was live. First, he goes to France. My dad is in Paris. My dad is in Paris. And the crowd, they're having a good time. And then he says, I know you're happy I'm in Paris, but respect what I'm doing in Paris. And I found that to be so beautiful. I found that to be amazing now. Yeah, when we're listening to the music, be happy. And don't forget the message. Don't forget what it represents. So that's one of the speeches of my dad. The second speech was from the Ojota protest. My dad was on stage, and my dad was singing Where Our Money. And in Where Our Money, this track by my dad, he calls everybody's name, right? So he says, if you see Tinubu, and of course, they were all panicking and they dragged the mic from him because he wasn't supposed to call APC members. Unfortunately, I didn't find that particular audio to use in the track, but I got a good chunk of it, where he's talking about the ridiculous salaries of the legislature and how we are just being exploited. So that's what Blood is about, the euphoria of independence and then the inevitable reality of our actual suffering. Different streets. This is for the Afrobeat lovers. This is for the people who love, 80s Fela, its groove, its instrumentation, its arrangement, its harmony, it's cool. And different streets is exactly what it says, man. You go to different parts of Lagos, you see different kinds of people, you see different kinds of streets. Some roads are tarred, some roads are not tarred. Some roads are but the rest are sinking. Some of us do not know that the sea is about to take us. Some of us are aware that it is, but we have no way of stopping it. Some of us have been living in areas so terrible that we only wonder what actually goes on in the actual lawmaking bodies in this country. So different streets there's a monologue that I give, and I say Fela was not a prophet, right? And I've had a problem with this for a long time. He wasn't prophesizing what was to be. That's what a prophet does. A prophet speaks of the future. He speaks of what is to come. Fela in the 70s and 80s was singing about the problems in the 70s and the 80s. He wasn't making any predictions. He was talking about the people that were very much alive, that were very much powerful, that were very much able to jail him for his own comments, for his way of life. He was talking about international bodies. He was talking about Nigeria. He was talking about the West. He was talking about 70s and 80s. He wasn't prophesizing. And if you consider him a prophet, you were just late to catch up. You weren't aware of what was going on in the 70s and 80s. And now in the 21st century, you want to play catch up. That's not okay. You have to first accept that while Fela was alive, we didn't appreciate his existence. We didn't appreciate what he was fighting for. We didn't stand by him. The day that they raided his home and they threw Fumila around some Kuti from his story building, it's well known there was a crowd watching. There were thousands of people watching that scene. Fela believed that at least one person would throw a stone at these military officers to prevent them from charging in, because the great number of us would stop the raid on his home, because this is the man that has been fighting for us, that has been jailed because of us, that has been beaten, brutalized. He has come back stronger, track after track, hit after hit, music arrangements, mind-blowing, talent. He really believed that at least one person would fight for him, and it wasn't the case, man. They raided the home, they beat people, they raped people, they threw his mother from a building, which eventually led to her death. And again, this is reality.